Thank you for joining me. Thank you, chat monitors, for your help. I appreciate it. Even Unconditional Love Taro, Diana, it's the music, Diana. Dorado Shurenzi, Kenneth Blangsley, Patricia Epperson, Glorious E. I hope everyone is well. Unfortunately, I can't go through everyone's name. Yesterday, I did my show, but I wasn't feeling very good after I watched Bondi's fiasco, shenanigan, whatever it was. Because, intuitively, these people, it's all about themselves. And intuitively, I'm seeing everything that's behind all that facade and the people in the White House and all of that, okay? It's very upsetting. But I didn't say anything yesterday, and this morning I was very happy. I was not alone. Don Lemon said he turned off the, whatever it was she was doing, the hearing, okay, because he got tired of it, and that's what I did. After I left here, I think I spoke to one person, and then I tried to watch it. I had to turn it off. It was that disgusting. But intuitively, I feel this is going to blow up. What happened yesterday, a lot of people watched, and the feedback is not good. I just read something, a little blurb on Raw Story, that the White House is not happy with the way she handled it. In Haiti, that's where I was born. Forgive me, those of you who don't want to hear about that. They have a public market where people go and sell their wares. And, they should change that system, okay? But they speak very loud, and some of them can be pretty vulgar. And what I watched, and it's not a good thing when someone compares you with someone who's selling in one of those markets, because most of the people who sell in those markets, I'm not putting them down, okay? But some of them can be pretty vulgar. They can be really, because they are not educated, unfortunately, okay? So they can say things sometimes like, it's shocking. That's what I envisioned yesterday. That's who PM Bondi was behaving like to me. Even among intellectuals, you have people who, for some reason, whatever childhood trauma, baggage they bring in with them, they behave those ways, and those, their behavior resemble, look at PM Bondi. She's well educated from what I hear, okay? And look at her behavior. So someone who's not educated, who you don't know how they grew up, well, I'm talking about Haiti now, it's even worse. So it's not a good thing when they compare you with one of those people, but there are also people that are selling in Haiti in those public markets, very nice, very pleasant, but some of them can really, gosh, they cast it's very bad. If you watch it, it's not good. Let's put it that way. And that's what I equated what PM Bondi's behavior yesterday with, and it's not good. And like I said before, the only reason why she's still there is because it's difficult to find someone else to go do what she did for Trump yesterday. I don't know too many people who will lower themselves, but I'm glad Representative Nagus, Raskin, and a few of most Democrats. I didn't see the whole, like I said, I turned it off, and while I was here, I didn't see. But it was bad, my friend, and the feedback from the media, it was really terrible. And some people are saying they don't, they remember her as being a nice person. No, That's who she is. You know why I'm saying this, and I'm going to move on to our regular show. When you're 15, 16, or even early 20s, somebody asks you to do something, our brain is not fully matured yet, you know. You can go do it. But at her age, to go and sacrifice yourself like that looks stupid. That's who she is. She's been able to control herself and do, you know, whatever it is that's required to climb the ladder. And to really, that's what I feel. Okay? But that's who she is. And also, one of you, Bill Barr came to mind, and one of you posted something. Is Bill Barr part of the conspiracy? I don't think so. Bill Barr he's a lawyer. He understood Trump, and he did everything so he would not cross the red line. Bill Barr had a red line. This woman doesn't. And, but like I said yesterday, the future is not looking very bright for her. And Democrats, I said it yesterday, and if you listen to Democrats that are speaking in the media, in fact, Jason Crow said they better make sure they conserve every single document that has to do with the Epstein case. I told you guys bad things were coming. I think the Democrats are giving a hint as to what's to come. So, but my friends, Bondi is not going to have a nice future. That's my prediction. It's going to be challenging. Lawsuits, not lawsuits, but hearings and trials and all that kind of stuff. And Trump is going to be probably sitting, laying in a bed somewhere, not caring about what happens to her, enjoying whatever pension he's got from our tax money. Having said that, let me move on. I don't know, I'm sure some of you have seen, I'm starting with the last topic on my title first, because there is correlation between that and covert action behind the scenes. Thune last night suggested that all the Epstein documents should be released. As I was watching him saying this, one of you sent me the link to the short video where he said it. As I was looking at him, I've never heard him say that before, okay? But he said that's what he's been advising everyone, okay? Something is happening after yesterday, intuitively, I feel, okay? The way Pam Bondi behaved, she didn't only destroy herself, her reputation, and everything else that comes along with that, to cover up for Trump, and hopefully she can make him happy, with her, or whatever job she's doing. According to reports, he's not very happy. But as we've heard, Republicans behind the scenes, they think Trump is crazy, and they speak openly about how they feel about him. But once the camera, is pointed at them, they change their mind. He's the greatest president and everything else. Okay, since sliced bread, the best and everything that he does since the invention of sliced bread. But anyway, after yesterday, a lot of Republicans were embarrassed, and they are wondering what to do, because they feel Trump's demands and the behavior of people around him, okay, because they're trying to meet his demands, and also they know in order for them, because they're incompetent, in order for them to keep their jobs, they have to heap praise on him and glory to our dear leader Trump. In the meantime, they are damaging the country, among a whole slew of other things that they are doing. And that's not where they want to go. Like the first topic on my title says, covert movement. I don't think it's a movement, but I think of the right word to put there. But this morning I wanted to put this out. Intuitively, I feel there is talk behind the scenes on how to go about trying to make Trump either modify his behavior and that of his cabinets, all this fawning and all this craziness. But they're trying to figure out how to tell him or to, do something. But the other thing they're not going to tell him is, it feels like to me, they are looking for ways. I mentioned something like that before, but as I was watching Thune last night, they want to get rid of him. Meaning, when I say they want to get rid of him, okay, I don't know how they're going to do it. 25th Amendment, and according to some of you who have explained it to me, they need all the cabinet members to push him out. And some of you, and you're right, there is no other president, American president, will hire these people. This is basically the pinnacle of their career. It can't get any better. They're not going to give him the 25th Amendment. And Thune, the people around him know that. And let me tell you, Mike Johnson, Thune has spoken to him as well about doing something about Trump. Because they feel, first of all, he wants to destroy NATO. He's not doing anything to help the country or Americans. And on top of it, he has people like PM Bondi, among others. They lie, like that guy who said he met with Epstein once. He was disgusted when he told his wife he will never meet him again. And then he turned around and had lunch with him and then met with him again, and then they were in business. They are tired of it. And Thune, it feels like to me, is sending a signal. Besides letting Trump know he's not in with this fiasco that his people are doing, he's putting Trump and DOJ on notice. And let me tell you, I feel they get it. Trump doesn't care. The people who are getting what, it took them, aback, Stephen Miller and Vought and these people. I am not sure exactly when this is going to happen, but the Senate leadership after yesterday basically had it. Some people in the House, they don't want to stick their neck out because they're a bunch of cowards and spineless. I don't want to say what I wanted to say. Okay, what I would automatically say, but a bunch of spineless guys, okay, they are afraid, they're a bunch of kitty cats. But the leadership in the House are feeling the same way the leadership and the Senate are feeling. It's not worth destroying our country, our international relationships over Trump, and for him to keep him in the White House. It may be better to get rid of him, one way or the other. And let me tell you something about Thune. It feels like to me, if any one of you know, please let me know. He tries to stay in his lane, when I focus on how he does his job, among other things, okay? You have, those type of people when you're in the corporate world, okay? You have a job to do, you're at a certain level. Let's say, for example, you're a manager, okay? And you are working with 5 or 6 other managers. All of you have your responsibilities. And there's one manager that's failing, and the process of failing is acting up and doing a whole bunch of stuff. But you're going to say, it's not my job. The big guys upstairs give you a job to do. I'm not going to reprimand you or criticize what you do. It's their job. In a sense that what Thune is saying is, we the people hired Trump. We can do something about him. But he won't step in until he realizes that the behavior of that manager and the destruction that he's causing, okay, can put the company out of business. And then he'll be out of a job and everything else he's worked so hard for. That's where I feel Thune and the people around him, since Thune is a leader, right now, he's been speaking to, his staff and other senior senators on what to do about this. But it feels like to me he's at the point right now where he feels the destruction is enough. And he's sending messages to Trump. But Trump, like I said, he doesn't care until his family tell him to, you better, do something about this. They know how to handle him. But Stephen Miller always gets the last word because he's in the White House with him. And he's very good and he knows how to manipulate Trump better than his kids. Okay, so intuitively, I'm not sure. I'm going to put the time frame within that same time frame I gave you before, between now and May, June, for something to happen. I don't know what it's going to be, but those guys have had enough. And now they are very concerned after yesterday. Yesterday was really, and that made me feel good last night after when you get something intuitively, it makes you feel a little better. But when I heard Don Lemon this morning talking about he had to, because he's a journalist, he's seen people do stupid things. And when he said he turned his TV off, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not crazy. So Thune has reached that limit. And now the task is, what do we do to get rid of this guy? It's too much. And intuitively, do you guys remember I said 2 things, if I recall correctly. What they are doing in Minneapolis was not going to last. But as we know, Stephen Miller, like I just said, he knows how to manipulate Trump. And he wanted for the agents to stay there. But it seems like he lost that fight. They are pulling them out. I'm sure you guys heard the news this morning. Holman had a news conference. I didn't even watch him. I feel so disgusted with the Trump people. I didn't even watch it. And you know what? I don't know if it was halfway through the news conference. I was in the kitchen over there. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do my stream today. I better turn this. I muted the TV so I couldn't hear what he was saying. And about a minute after I unmuted the TV so I could hear what he was saying, and I heard him say, we are going to pull whatever they called the surge. We're going to end the surge in Minneapolis. I'm like, did I hear that right? I was right over there in the kitchen. I couldn't believe what he said. But remember, I predicted that, and I feel his family got through to him, and also the poll numbers, and also behind the scenes. I believe I've heard on TV, people are talking, I mean, the leaders from Congress and the Senate have been in communication with the White House, telling them this is not working. It's pretty damaging, not only for Trump, but it's super damaging for them as well. And he pulled out those troops. But not only his family, I'm talking about Trump family talking to him, the leadership in the Senate and in the House had a word as well. So that's why I feel Stephen Miller lost the battle. That's what it feels like to me. Okay? Because he wanted to double, triple down. He doesn't care. Just like Tillis, I believe, told Trump, Stephen is not in your best interest. He's simply doing it, he wants to make his resume look good. He'll be looking for something better opportunities. He's using you. And that's part of the reason why Trump decided to call off the surge, whatever they call it, in Minneapolis. But the people of Minneapolis won. They've demonstrated, Americans. Oh, wait a minute, what was the word again? That show. Homie, don't do that. Or homie, don't take that. Well, how do you call people from Minneapolis again? Minneapolisan? Okay, I don't know how I don't know how to say it, but they don't take that. That's the feeling I'm getting from them, and someone, I'm going to say it because I think the state needs some help after what they've gone through, and they've suffered through it. It helps the rest of us as well. We don't have to, our states or wherever we live, we don't have to go through what happened in Minneapolis. Somebody suggested that people should visit Minneapolis this coming summer. So I said today I will repeat that as a thank you to the people of Minneapolis, because they lost 2 citizens that we know of, among other people who are hurt. So I thought I would mention that. But my friends, what happened yesterday, what PM Bondi did, American people are not having any of it. And the rest of the world were watching. And the White House is not very happy this morning about the feedback. And the Senate and the House, they've decided something is going to have to be done. They can't let this go on, and also their kids. That's one thing I'm sorry I forgot to mention. There is a major concern among people in the leadership in the House and in the Senate. Their kids. What are they going to say to their kids one day? And what are they going to leave their kids if they don't do anything? Because they don't see any sign of Vance, Stephen Miller, and Vought and these people take an assessment of what the damages they are causing, not only to the country, but to all Americans, and to change their behavior. So those guys decided they're going to have to do something themselves. That's what I'm picking up intuitively, and something will be done. That's my prediction. 1 second. I'm looking at, I think, yes, another thing. I'm sorry. I'm glad I put it in the lives are catching up. That's another thing I feel that's catching up with Trump, his administration, and anyone even in the House. Americans are tired of the lies, misrepresentations, the propagandas. That's another problem. That's another thing that's causing, or as we move forward, not only in the courts, but us, the people, are not going to have any of it. It feels like to me, well, we don't trust anything that comes out of the mouth of anyone in the Trump administration. And that's another thing I feel Thune and company are feeling as well. People don't believe them. And it's not only, it's not only about the country and everything else, but it's about themselves, their family, their kids. And don't be mistaken. Their kids stand up to them and ask them, what are they doing? Yes, there's a lot of that going on, my friends, behind the scenes that we don't know about. So this administration is on a very bad footing. I don't see how they're going to be able to pull themselves out of the hole that they dug for themselves. Let's see what decision or how Thune and company decides to go about doing something about it, about the Trump administration, but that's what's coming. That's my prediction. And let's see if, I think somebody asked me a question. I promised I was going to answer it. What? I don't see it right away, so I'm going to go down. I'm going to look at what you guys have. Okay, I think I made good time. Your baby still up says, hey, Milou, somebody found my glasses at the train station in West Virginia where I sat my things down to take my mask off and turn them in. Congratulations. I got them the very next day. So that was that lost and found? Good. Happy for you. My listener says Trump is all about how can I steal your money. Exactly. Well, that's another thing. He doesn't know any other way of behaving. So he continues that same mentality, that same way of behaving. And that's what's going to get his family. Not only him, but his family. And yesterday, okay, great. Your baby still says yes. That's another thing. Okay. I think I told you to call them. Did you call them? I think I told you to call them. All right. Yes. I lost track of what I was saying. But anyway, I forget what I was saying. I'm looking. Sassy Fry says, I don't think they care about anything but themselves. That's for sure. I'm looking. Okay. Thank you for reminding everyone to hit the thumbs up. Okay, my listener says, Milou, Bill Barr stopped all the FD 302 that were reported by victims back in 2019. Oh, so I misinterpreted the question then. I was asked at the top. I believe FD 302, I'm not an expert, I'm going based on memory, or from what I heard on TV. That's a file, that's a paper. I mean, when you go file any complaint with the FBI, I believe you file the form 302. Please let me know if I'm right. I'm doing it, I heard it on TV. Oh my God. I didn't know about that were reported by victims back in 2019. Yikes. Oh, that's not a good thing. Well, and from what I understand, Barr had a relationship with Epstein's father. There was something about teaching in school. Epstein's father was a teacher or something to that effect, you know. Well, I don't think you can stop. I mean, these people filed the 302s, Mario, doesn't necessarily mean, I don't think, well, I don't know, but I'm not seeing somebody, you know, because when these people go in, you can't tell them you don't file anything. You have to let them, you know, you have to write down the complaints. They probably put them somewhere and do nothing, and no, they don't act on them. You know what I mean? I misunderstood the question the person asked before. I thought they were talking about compared to what PM Bondi is doing now. No. And that's why I believe the last month of the Trump administration, the first one, I think he either fired Barr or came close to firing him. So it's because Barr was not about to do everything Trump asked him. Yeah. So there was that too, if I remember correctly. CC says, Milou, you said this before. Is Bondi going to prison behind her vile, evil, and cruel ways? It's not. That's not why she's going to go to prison, because there are other things that are happening. Yes, that she's going to have a lot of problems, and Democrats are letting Republicans know what's coming. And I wouldn't be surprised, my friend. I hate to use the term blue wave, but I think a lot of Republicans, I have to always condition this on how effective Democrats are at suppressing the efforts, Republicans' efforts, and to suppressing the votes. Okay, there is that hit. That's always there. To me, it's unbelievable what Republicans will do to win an election. Okay, but Johnson, you know what I was getting yesterday, you guys? I would not be surprised. Mike Johnson quit Congress after he loses, because the blowback he's going to get, and to whatever I feel, remember I told you guys, and if you get, you know, this guy is going to have a very hard time because of the way he's comporting himself, the way he's going about doing Trump bidding for him. Let's see what happens. Carrick749 says, will DJT win his $10 billion lawsuit against the United States? I doubt it. You know, all those things are not looking good for him, and Thune and company are not happy about it. Mike Johnson, you know, if Trump wins something, Trump will find a way to give him a couple of bucks. Mike Johnson doesn't care, you know, as long as Trump is around and keep him and his cushy jobs, he doesn't have to do much. Stephen Miller says, okay, I want this done, because it's not Trump's ideas, okay? And he runs and gets it done so Stevie wouldn't yell at him, okay? So he's happy with that. Whatever they decide until Trump is gone, then life will be hell for Mike Johnson. Remember I told you, this is not going to be, oh my God. And I mean, his colleagues from his caucus, they're going to come after him. Okay. But no, he won't win $10 billion. Are you kidding? No way. You won't even get $1 million, never mind $10 billion. Just Mighty said, did Trump enjoy the Bondi show even if others didn't? I I mean, he loved the fact that, you know, the way she was talking about him, you know, he's God's gift to humanity. But after Trump heard the feedback, and it was, what she did was gross. The woman was gross, and she keeps sticking her finger. You know, this thing can get you sick. Oh my God, this thing can get you sick big time. And she keeps doing it, and I, maybe it's because I don't like her. It's a big turnoff for people to do that on TV. Yikes! Thank God I don't touch papers anymore. Everything I do now is for my computer. Forget the paper stuff. You know, sometimes I think back when you guys remember a long time ago when we used to go to libraries and borrow, you know, books. The other day I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God, Lord knows who the person who bought that book before me. Oh God. Oh Lord, did you guys see this morning it happened? Ellison. Wait a minute, I wrote it down. He went after, there is a hearing this morning. 1 second. I'm looking for his name. Okay, I know Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison fired back at Senator Ron Johnson after he blamed the state official for the death of 2 U.S. citizens, Rene Good and Alex Pretty, who were killed by the Department of Homeland Security agent. Hawley and Johnson basically, well, they were lying. We know how, you know, those two guys are. They're pathological liars. And they need, you know, they want to create videos so that can go viral, bashing on somebody. Oh my God. Hawley, I don't know what he was thinking. He said something to Keith Ellison, hey pal, something. Keith Ellison fired back, I'm not your pal. Oh God. And Johnson says, because he stood up to Johnson as a pathological liar, he called him, he says, you're lying. And Johnson says, you disgust me. He says, likewise. I was watching, the videos are on social, on Blue Sky and on X. It's funny. No, that's not, yes. In fact, if you go to Raw Story, you will see the videos too. It was so funny. I was so happy. Keith Ellison stood up to Josh Hawley. Oh my God. And he was trying to scare Ellison, like, you are under oath, and it's like you're in a courtroom. And Ellison kept going at him. Ellison was not scared. Oh my God, that's the way to take these people on. Put them in their places. Yes, it was great. I was having a lot of fun. Okay. LBC, I think this is it, friends. I'm looking to see if there is one more question. Oh, Catherine Gilbert. Oh no, I'm not saying anything about negative about libraries. They're a great place. Oh my God, you know. But it's me, my pet peeve. I mean, librarians, they're very smart people, and you got to have a fantastic memory too. It's a great job. It's an amazing, you know. These people, they don't get paid enough. I'm not bashing librarians. I did not mention that. It's my pet peeve. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, the people who bought that book before when I was in high school. Some of the stuff we used to do, but now we're grown, we know better. It's like, oh my God. Okay, great. I'm glad you didn't. Thank you, Catherine, because I didn't mean anything negative towards librarians. They are great. I'm like, they don't make enough. Just like teachers, they don't make enough for the job that they do. Okay. Lanny Ann says, I borrow books from libraries. Not me. That's my books. No, I didn't forget the thing. It's just that we have so much to cover. Well, of course, we're doing Trump is always in the news, so there is always something to talk about. But I don't feel the question we asked the other day from the 3 cards that I pulled from my electronic card thing is going to go away, because the question was, is Trump going to be out of the White House sooner, like in the near future? That was the question. So today I had to talk about Bondi and a couple of other very important things. So I'm sorry, but we'll get to them. Regardless, I know it's when you pull 3 cards, it's past, present, and future. The past is sealed as far as Trump and his administration is concerned. It's not going to change. Okay, the present is still unfolding, and the future, we know. Let's see what happens. So I will still do it. It's just that there's so much to cover. Thank you, everyone, for spending time with me. Thank you, chat monitors, for your help. I appreciate it. If anyone would like a reading from me, the link to my website is below the video, psychicmilou.com, or please feel free to call me or text me on my YouTube number. If you like the channel and you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. And also, don't forget to tap on the notification bell. Oh my God, you guys. I gotta say, this is a story, it's not a prediction. I read right before I came on, okay, about the Jill Zarin story that basically got herself fired. I was thinking this morning, just like when I was a kid, or in high school and stuff, what I used to do. And innocently, I was thinking about maybe 10 years ago when I used to go to, what is the name of that gym? It's in New York City. I forgot to tell you guys. I mentioned it yesterday. I think I wrote it down. Give me a couple of seconds. Let me see if I can find where I wrote it down in my journal. No, I don't see it. But there's that fancy gym I told you in New York City. And I was watching these people, whenever I took a break from, or I'm waiting for the next client, they would be in a large room with, glass there and there doing the thing. This morning it hit me how prejudiced these people can be. I'm like, oh my God, at that time I never thought about it. And it is so, it is very sad. That from what I understand, she's not the only one who said, the negative things. Another one, I liked her a lot when she first started, and I don't mean loving or, romantic feelings towards her. The slender one, I forget her name right now. She was going through some very tough time with her mom, the way she grew up, and I really felt sorry for her. Bethany Frankel. Okay. And even her too. She's criticizing Bad Bunny. And from what I understand, I've not heard her statement, but it wasn't nice either. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I'm looking back, I'm like, in those days, I never thought of how mean-spirited these people can be. But anyway, I thought I would share that. It hit me this morning. I thought I would share it. Please, everyone, give me a thumbs up. That would help me a lot. I will see you all tomorrow, unless something major happens later, but I don't think so. Till then, bye. Sorry.